MVP votes, that's a whole nother thing. If you have those takes, those opinions, those biased opinions, you need to tread very carefully, because let's not forget what happened to the VMAs, BET Awards, Oscars, the Grammys. Bro, when you don't let the winner win, the rightful winner win, everybody's gonna boycott. You're not gonna get the views and you're not gonna get the respect. Your MVP award is not going to hold value. Nobody's gonna really care. What does that mean? Your top players, the players that we all love, they're not gonna show up to these awards. They're not. They're gonna boycott because you're showing that you're very biased. Don't think that the NFL honors is unbreakable. What is going on, Ravens flock? My name is Drastic, and I want to welcome you guys back to another video on our YouTube channel, Flocking Ravens. And on today's video, we're going to be doing part 2 to the last video that I did, titled, "The Media Wants the White Quarterback to Win." So the reason why we're doing a part 2 to this video is because in that last video, there were way too many comments saying, "Where is the proof?" So maybe I got ahead of myself in that video and I only give you guys my opinion. I didn't think I needed to give you guys too much proof because I thought it was very obvious, right? But clearly it wasn't. So in this video, I'm going to give you guys all the proof that you need to see what I was saying in that video. Let me give you guys a quick rundown of what was said in that last video for those of you guys who have not had a chance to go watch that video. So in that video, I was pretty much saying that the MVP race is giving you guys all the proof that you need to know that the media and the NFL is a racist league. They have an agenda to push the white quarterback to be the face of the NFL, to win all and any award there is, right? And my main reason for that is because when you take a listen to the reasons why the media thinks the Josh Allen should win that race, it's ridiculous. It is very ridiculous. Their main thing is pretty much Josh Allen doesn't have help. Josh Allen has a winning record, and when you that's pretty much it, right? That's all they have. That is all that they have. So when you take a listen to what they're saying, their reasons, I think that it is just not enough to say that he is the clear favorites, because 3 weeks ago they were saying, yo, like, MVP race is over, Josh Allen won. That's not enough to close out a MVP race. Last year, they waited to the very last game to give the MVP award to Lamar based on his winning record, and everybody was saying he didn't do enough. You can't just give it to him for his winning record. They waited to the very last game to give it to him. Josh Allen, they gave it to him 3 weeks ago and just said he has a winning record, therefore MVP race over. And he had one good game. And the week prior, he almost, well, he actually lost, but they were saying even though he lost, he was the better quarterback out there. And they were like parading Josh Allen even though he lost. So for 1 second, I want you guys to put Lamar Jackson in Josh Allen's shoes, right? And let's say he had an incredible game against whatever team, right? And Lamar Jackson's team ended up losing. Do you guys truly think the media would parade Lamar Jackson's stats, how great he was in that game, even though they lost the game? They wouldn't. Like, be honest with yourself. They really wouldn't. Maybe one or two guys in, like, the whole entire media. Like, you're talking about, like, 100+ people. Maybe one or two will get on TV and say, yo, I mean, he lost, but Lamar Jackson had an incredible... But everybody else, one, they would bash him, talking about he needs to do more, even though he had an incredible game, just like Josh Allen. No one said Josh Allen needs to do more. That's not enough. I don't want to hear it. A loss is a loss. No one said that about Josh Allen, but guess what? They would say it for Lamar Jackson. They would say that's not enough. You need to do more. The other team did more. That's why they won, you know? So The case that they tried to make for Josh Allen for MVP is hilarious to me because they always bring up things like the winning record, right? The winning record does matter for the MVP race, but you also got to take a look at who are the teams that he is going up against, right? That matters a lot because are you going up against easy teams or are you going up against playoff contenders, Super Bowl contender teams? Who are you going up against, right? That matters a lot, especially what division are you in? That does matter a lot because there are four teams in every division. You're going to face three teams in your division twice a year. That's a total of 6 games, right? So, depending on the division you're in, that could easily be 6 wins or 6 losses, right? So, for Josh Allen, let's take a look at what division he's in. He's in the AFC East. They have the Bills, the Dolphins, the Jets, and the Patriots. Now let's take a look at the Ravens, the AFC North. They have the Ravens, the Steelers, the Bengals, and the Browns. So when you put that like divisions side by side, who has the harder division? Josh Allen has 6 easy wins added to his winning record for the season. Lamar Jackson, he won a couple of games and he also lost a couple of games. But you got to take into account the division that he's in. When you put them side by side, let's go head to head. If you're not a Ravens or Bills fan, I want you guys to tell me who would you rather go up against, right? Let's go. Let's put the teams side by side based on the tiers where they are in the standings, right? So, would you rather go up against the Patriots or the Browns right now? So then we go up to the Jets. Who would you rather play, the Jets or the Bengals? The Bengals is the tougher team, and Lamar beat them 2 times. Then you go to the Dolphins versus the Steelers. Who would you rather go up against right now? Tua's out. Like, who is not going to want to go up against the Dolphins right now? I mean, the Dolphins, they're just horrible. They're just playing horrible right now. And then, obviously, you got the Bills versus the Ravens. Who are you going to want to go up against? Everyone's going to choose the Bills. That's the easier. You have a better chance winning that game than you have a better chance going up against the Ravens. Look what they did to the Texans. Like, these stuff matter because Ravens, they have beaten teams who are actually in the playoff picture right now. Except for the Chiefs. That's it. And you got to give Josh Allen credit. Not just Josh Allen, because he didn't just do this by himself. But you got to give the Bills and Josh Allen credit for what they did. But also Josh Allen, yes. Because they were able to beat the Chiefs. But that's it. It starts and it probably ends right there. Everything else, again, I'm not trying to discredit him. But you got to take into account who did he actually go up against. So let's do that really quick, right? So Josh Allen went up against the Cardinals. Very first game against the Cardinals, he won that game. He went up against the Dolphins. He also won that game. That's the division game. He went up against the Jaguars. He won that game. He went up against the Ravens. Bro, they benched him. That's another thing I want to talk about. If you're getting benched in a game because the game is just way out of reach for you to win, that should disqualify you. That has to disqualify you because your head coach is saying there is nothing this player can do to put us back in this game, so why risk it? Let's just bench him and hopefully he's better by next game or next week or whatever, right? Josh Allen has multiple games where he has been benched. I only know of this game, but I've heard through Twitter, whatever, I've seen a lot of people saying, no, he also got benched for this game, that game, whatever. But against the Ravens, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen shootouts. I know he's not going up against Lamar Jackson, but they're in a shootout. Lamar Jackson is throwing touchdown after touchdown after touchdown, and Josh Allen and the Bills are only able to put up what, 10 points? And y'all telling me that Josh Allen is the clear favorite to win the MVP? Nah, bro. That's crazy. Had it gone the other way, had Josh Allen beaten the Ravens, the whole narrative would have been Josh Allen already went on a shootout against Lamar Jackson and showed you he's better. Josh Allen did this, beat the Ravens on his own. That would have been the narrative. And for that reason, he obviously won the MVP race, right? That would be the narrative. But because he didn't win that game, he wasn't even close. They want to forget about this game. No one really brings up this game. Like, a lot of people some people literally forgot about the game. Like, they forced themselves to forget about it. What was that show? I was watching some show where the guy was making a case. I forgot his name, but he's an NBA player, ex-NBA player, right? He was making a case for Josh Allen and how he's better than Lamar and this, that, and the third. And then his co-host was like, they went up against each other, right? Face to face. And he was like, this season? He was like, yeah. He was like, oh, and he was just quiet. They forced themselves to forget these games because they don't want to see that, right? That's not going to help their case, and they just try to forget about it. Head to head, Lamar Jackson was the better quarterback in that game. Not just this game. Many games that they played against the Bills, aside the playoff where Lamar Jackson got concussed out of the game, Lamar Jackson is very dominant against the Bills. Bro, in the shootouts, Lamar Jackson wins every single one of them. Every single one of them. Let's go on to the next game. Then he plays the Texans. Wild card team. Playoff team. Who won? The Texans. Okay, so you can't beat good teams. Then he plays the sorry Jets. Who won? The Bills by 3 points. Okay. Then he goes up against the Titans. 34 to 10. That's almost the same score as the Ravens against the Bills. 35 to 10. And everybody was celebrating. Oh my God, like he destroyed it. Yeah, Lamar did that to Josh Allen too, but all right, whatever. Next game. Then he goes up against the Seahawks, right? Seahawks were, I don't know, they started their season just horrible. No one can deny it. So it's nothing impressive. Then you go up against the Dolphins. You win by 3 points again, barely getting by. Then you go up against the Colts, 20 to 30. So they win that game. Then you go up against the Chiefs, 21 to 30. Yo, I give you all the credit in that game. I don't want to take that away from Josh Allen. You did that. That's impressive. No one else was able to do that. Josh Allen was able to beat the Chiefs in the regular season. What's new? Y'all want to talk so much about Lamar Jackson, what he does in the postseason? Why are we not talking about what Josh Allen never does in the postseason against the Chiefs? So, okay, you won a freaking Super Bowl. Anyways, let's go to the next team. Then he goes up against the 49ers, wins that game. Then he goes up against the LA Rams. I think this is the game where he lost. And yeah, they lost. And the media tried to make it out to be like Josh Allen was the better player out there. It was so impressive what he did. I know they lost, but nah, man. This was like his best game. He lost. Had it been Lamar Jackson, I promise you guys they would be... Then he went up against the Bills. He won that game. He went up against the Lions, right? 48-42. Okay. Barely got by. Then you go up against the Patriots, which, let me tell you guys, that game was won thanks to his defense. If his defense doesn't make that pick six, Josh Allen doesn't win that game. There was nothing Josh Allen was like could have done to win that game. Everything he did was not working. The Bills defense was able to just hold them to how many points? 21. Like they weren't letting more. They were like, all right, we're gonna stop, and they were doing their part at that point. They were doing their part. But the Bills offense in that game, I watched that game. The Bills offense, they were out of that game, bro. So I don't want to say too much of the coulda, shoulda, woulda. Okay, they got it. Great, they got the win, but you almost lost against Drake May. That's crazy. And y'all want to say he's the clear favorites for the MVP. That's the part that gets me, bro. It's games like that you see and no one really talks about it in depth because they know how it's gonna make him look. Then you go up against the Jets, you destroy them. It's the Jets, bro. It's the Jets. I bet you if the Ravens go up against the Jets, bro, we destroy them. And you know what's crazy? Josh Allen gets all these crazy stats, but he plays every single snap. Especially, oh my God, especially if he's blowing out a team. They don't have mercy, bro. He's still on that field. Stat padding. Lamar Jackson, he gets a 2 touchdown lead in the fourth quarter. Out. He sits out. So if Lamar Jackson does what what's his name? Josh Allen does, where when let's just say against the Bills, yo, Lamar Jackson was having a game against the Bills. Imagine if they actually really tried to keep putting up points like the Bills do every single game that they blow out a team. They try to get to like 80 points. They do. Lamar and Harbaugh, they're not like that. I don't know if it's more of Harbaugh or of Lamar's decision or maybe both, mutual, I don't know. But they don't do that. But if they were those type of players and coaches, bro, the scores would be crazy on all these other games that we've had, bro. Crazy, I'm telling you. Would have been crazy. And another thing that the media loves to talk about is the style of which Josh Allen plays the game of football, right? I remember a year or two ago where his style of play was frowned upon when Lamar Jackson was playing that exact same style. Y'all remember that? Like the rushing touchdown, that was frowned upon for the media. Y'all remember Stephen A. Smith? What's that other guy? Emmanuel Acho. Y'all remember all of those media personnel, bro? They would get up on that show and say, that's cool, but he needs to throw passing touchdowns. That's what a real quarterback does. Yeah, rushing yards is cool, but we need to see passing yards. Y'all remember that? Like, that was like very frowned upon. And now that Josh Allen is doing that and Lamar Jackson is trying to fit the narrative of a quarterback that the media put out there, now all of a sudden the new cool thing is Josh Allen's style of play. Lamar Jackson been doing that. When Lamar Jackson tries to do that, trust me, Lamar Jackson will outperform Josh Allen in that style of play. It's not even going to be close. But anyways, let's talk about the main topic of this video, which is the media wants the white quarterback to win. The reason why we're talking about this is because, like I said earlier in my video, Y'all said I didn't give you guys enough or any proof at all to make such statement, right? So let me give you guys all the proof that y'all need for you guys to understand why I'm saying the things I say. Let's start off with Joe Burrow, right? Joe Burrow is one of the first quarterbacks that comes to mind when I think of the media pushing their agenda for the whites quarterback to be the face of the NFL. Y'all remember Joe Burrow's season that he had that run to the Super Bowl, right? The media was hyping up Joe Burrow the entire season of being one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL at that time. And it was from the very beginning all the way to the end. And I didn't really see too much of a great season for Joe Burrow that season. I feel like the defense, the Bengals defense, was definitely carrying that team. It wasn't Joe Burrow, but nobody in the media wanted to talk about that. In the postseason, the same exact thing. The defense carried that Bengals team all the way to the Super Bowl. But everybody wanted to make it the Joe Burrow show, right? The Joe Burrow parade. I disagreed with that because, for one, y'all know what his receivers were. He had three possible number one wide receivers at that time, right? And you're seeing it now. Joe Burrow is not making these crazy passes. He's making simple 10-yard passes. And his receivers are doing the rest, getting an extra 50 yards after the catch. You're seeing this right now with Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and even back then with Tyler Boyd. Now, that's not really to discredit him, but Joe Burrow, let's be honest, was just doing simple plays and pretty much benefiting off his weapons. Something that Lamar Jackson now is getting criticized for. Right now, nobody wants to give Lamar Jackson his award because he has Derrick Henry. Because all of a sudden, he has Zay Flowers and Rashad Bateman. As if we didn't have Zay Flowers and Rashad Bateman last year. Nobody last year was saying, oh my God, Lamar Jackson is so lucky with Rashad Bateman and Zay Flowers. They were saying, no, they need to go find a number one wide receiver. And now that they're finally getting better, now it's like, oh, well, Lamar Jackson has great weapons. Anyways, let's go back to the Joe Burrow topic, right? So, I just feel like the defense was the main reason why they got to the Super Bowl. But that's not the point I'm trying to make. So, once he got to the Super Bowl, what ended up happening? He lost the game. Not Joe Burrow, but the Bengals lost. And the media pretty much went out and said, Joe Burrow got to the Super Bowl. That's good enough. And they paraded him for getting to the Super Bowl. And it goes on till this day. Till this day, they always bring up Joe Burrow got that team to the Super Bowl. Again, they leave out the part that the defense carried that team to the Super Bowl. But anyways, they always bring up Joe Burrow got to the Super Bowl, and even though he lost, it was an amazing run and one for the books, and because of that, he should definitely, maybe, possibly go in the Hall of Fame one day. That's what they try to do. Now, I want you guys to take your attention to another quarterback named Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts did the same thing, but the opposite. I feel he actually was the reason why that team got to the Super Bowl. Jalen Hurts is literally the reason why that team got to that Super Bowl. Because he played his part. Obviously, every other player as well. The wide receiver, obviously, A.J. Brown. But there was a lot of value in Jalen Hurts, and he was one of the main pieces to why that team got to the Super Bowl. And when he went to that Super Bowl and his team lost, I remember the very next day, Stephen A. Smith got up on his show and started clowning Jalen Hurts.
It's under 2 minutes left. Not Patrick Mahomes. He gave you the lead, and now it's Jalen Hurts with the ball with under 2 minutes left, and you got to go downfield. You can tie it, you can win it with a touchdown, or you can lose because you just don't get it done. It's the Super Bowl.
So just that right there, you could already see that the criticism is not the same. For a white quarterback, you go to a Super Bowl and lose, you get celebrated. For a black quarterback, you go to a Super Bowl and you lose, you get bashed on the very next day. And then you have quarterbacks like Justin Herbert, Trevor Lawrence, Josh Allen, who also have not had postseason success. Let's define postseason success. I don't think it's just based on the record, how many games you won. No, forget all that. It's have you gone to the AFC Championship game and won that game. For me, that is postseason success. If you're only winning a couple games and you end up losing in the main game like the Ravens did, you did not have any success in the postseason. I don't want to hear what's the records, okay? You have these quarterbacks who get glorified for just making the playoffs. But Lamar Jackson can't just make the playoffs like these other quarterbacks. He has to literally win every single one of them, which I agree. He should, and he will. Eventually he will. I feel like if this is the year, he will. But if any other quarterback gets to the playoffs and they don't win, it doesn't matter. They're going to get glorified. They're going to say, wow, Trevor Lawrence, bro, what a season. What a game. Same with Josh Allen. Oh, my God, it was so good how he played. And that's where I think that the media is one-sided. Of course, on the white quarterback side. But it's one thing to give your take, have your opinion, your biased opinion on a show on ESPN, Fox Sports, whatever. That's one thing. But it's a whole nother thing if you have a vote in the NFL honors for the Defense Player of the Year, Offense Player of the Year, Rookie of the Year, the MVP votes. That's a whole nother thing. If you have those takes, those opinions, those biased opinions, you need to tread very carefully. Because let's not forget what happened to the VMAs, BET Awards, Oscars, the Grammys. Bro, when you don't let the winner win, the rightful winner win, everybody's going to boycott. You're not going to get the views and you're not going to get the respect. Your MVP award is not going to hold value. Nobody's going to really care. What does that mean? Your top players, the players that we all love, they're not going to show up to these awards. They're not. They're going to boycott because you're showing that you're very biased. Don't think that the NFL honors is unbreakable. All I'm saying is if you want this award to really mean something, have its value that it currently has, let the real winner win. The one who deserves it. Because if y'all go a whole nother direction, trust me, its value is going to tank. I want y'all to leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys feel about this topic. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. Leave a comment at the end of this video. At the end of your comment, make sure you leave a hashtag FlockGang. And with that, I'm going to see you on the next video.